I live completely on a Bitcoin standard. I heard this one Nassim Taleb quote that just like fired me up. It was like, if you have an opinion and you don't live by that opinion, you're a fraud. And that kind of hit me because, like, I really think Bitcoin will make a better monetary system for the planet. And it's obviously not suitable for everybody, especially with the volatility. Like, I live down in Costa Rica. Not everybody can handle the volatility, but also Bitcoin is needed in these people's hands and neighboring countries' hands more than maybe people in the States and in first world countries. Um, but anyways, yeah, that quote kind of inspired me to do it. But now I live in this place called Bitcoin Jungle, and I do not need fiat. 100%. I get all my groceries, most of them from the farmer's market. When I do need to sell some, there's an app that lets you sell some with very, very little KYC. It's amazing. And it's like they have this Venmo type thing called SynPay here, where it's just a phone number attached to a bank account. So I'll just like send the Bitcoin to this phone number and it converts it to their fiat. And boom, that's how I get gas. So like I'm completely walking the walk down here. And it's really cool to see all of this emerging. Like all these vendors, I've probably spent Bitcoin at around 50 to 75 different vendors here.
Wow.
And there's probably more than a couple hundred pins on the map. Um, and it's cool here because it was all a grassroots movement to encourage adoption. This guy just kind of whipped up an app one day and was close friends with the makers of the farmers market. And yeah, the people just started accepting Bitcoin because their savings account was already the dollar. They knew that the colone that the dollar is probably a better place to save. So the Bitcoin option is like, oh, okay, cool, just another option, great. And this is maybe better for saving. So now all these people are just getting flooded with Bitcoin, and this started around like 20K, and now it's at 80K. It was at 120. So they've gotten to kind of feel the number go up too, which is the most powerful meme for the market. Um, and yeah, man. So I live completely on Bitcoin. I earn Bitcoin from Primal and put it right back into the economy.
Wow, that's super cool. Um, so by the way, the Bitcoin earning aspect of the platform, can you
Mhm.
break down how that works too?
Oh yeah. So instead of a like, you can get a zap, and it's just like with one touch, you can just pay people with Bitcoin. And like my wife and I, for having a baby, we got sent over like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, which is pretty
Wow.
rad. I mean, I'm one of the people working on Primal, so of course, like maybe a little
They know
spoiled.
you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, just like that little story is so wholesome and so cool. So yeah, you can monetize your content from day one, like Ben's about to find out. Um, like, but I don't want to flex. Like, it's not going to be a sustainable way to make money anytime soon. But
Of
this is like
course.
this glimpse of this potential future where more people move to a Bitcoin standard. This is actually the easiest way onto Bitcoin I've found because it's like a social context instead of like, all right, now go listen to 25 hours of podcast, then go give an exchange your life's information. This is just like, oh, hop on, make a shit post, and now you're playing with Bitcoin.
Dude, that's super cool.
Yeah.
um, like the psychology of that just being very native to the platform, like that
Yep.
changes behavior
Yeah.
Mhm.
in a way that I don't think that we've really seen on social media before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's really
it's
good
cool.
point. Because right now, the only way we've been able to inform algorithms and stuff is by doing cheap shit, like either lending your eyeballs purposefully or accidentally, or by tapping a like button. But when you attach money behind it, when you attach the world's best money behind some piece of content, that's a signal. And that's how we can shape future algorithms too. Pretty
Very,
cool.
very well put.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, there's this whole other side of it, like the whole what Base is doing and that stuff where everything becomes a tradable piece of content. I've tried to keep my mind open to that, but that just seems like a literal casino, in
yes.
my opinion.
Interesting. I haven't heard about that. So Base is it something that's being built on top of Base? Like, is it an app on top of Base, or it's on
It's
Base
like
specifically?
it's like Coinbase Web3 type social media play.
Hmm, okay,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
go
haven't
look
heard
into
of it.
that. I won't be able to explain it right, but it's like every piece of content you make can be traded and sold and is like an NFT or something. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
pretty
feel like
crazy.
that's not
I
gonna
think
get
that's a
through.
little too early, in terms of what they're trying to achieve there, but I do think that that's probably foreshadowing things that will be created. I think more and more people each day from people like Paul are going to wake up to the significance of this problem, and it's gonna attract some awesome talent. I think that's the
Mhm.
biggest thing that we're missing right now is that a lot of the consumers aren't aware, and then the builders don't have the tools yet. But I think that those things will kind of converge and make for some rapid progress in this space. So another arbitrage opportunity being early here. Like if you believe that this stuff is going to be needed and you're there early, think about who you're going to meet. One thing that's connected to social media is when COVID happened and Clubhouse emerged. I
Yeah.
met some of the highest profile people I've ever met in my life, especially within crypto, from going in Clubhouse rooms because I was the social media strategy guy. So all these people who they would never have replied to my DMs, but they're now my friend because we were speaking on the stages because there wasn't many people there. So another
This
huge thing
world
there.
is
Pardon?
ridiculously small.
So small.
Like, I mean, especially in these little crypto Bitcoin bubbles. I mean, I was sitting on the sidelines. I was basically a closet maxi for like 4 years. And then I just showed up to a conference and then I just kept showing up. And now I'm like working full time in the space. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I mean, it turns out that time spent listening to podcasts, consuming Twitter, and all that actually can pay off. And just putting yourself out there too, of course.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
I gotta double tap on the closet maxi statement. What does that mean?
Well, like, yeah, I was just kind of on the sidelines, not contributing to it, not going to any meetups, not doing podcasts, had no
Making
friends
myself
into it.
out.
I was just kind of like this pretty much Bitcoin maxi, just kind of like sitting on the sidelines going, yeah, guys, you guys are too scary and smart and jacked for me. Like, you know, um, but yeah, I got to meet everybody and it was like, oh, this is what I've been missing is really quick connections when you are down the same rabbit holes as people, as I'm sure you guys know.
Okay, okay. So I do think that's a thing about the crypto space is, I mean, you got a lot of characters,
Yeah, man.
and people can be either intimidating or just like completely just off-putting. um, uh, how do you think about kind of like the culture and stuff that you're building around your platform, and how have you found any people that have helped contribute to everything that you're building out?
So what I'm fired up about is like this potential for a healthier social media. And it's cool to see right now the people who are in there. It's just like normal people who are like the stars over there right now, just like showing their average life. Like, look at this farm I just built, or look at my harvest. It's like, yes, return to what's real instead of like, just doing stuff just for chasing the clicks and everything. You don't know how long that'll stay like that and everything, but yeah, it really is just Bitcoin culture, like maxi culture. So if you want to get a taste of what that's like, and it's off-putting to some, but I also think one of my theses is like also as Bitcoin continues to go up and take over the world, I think um, stuff like Noster and Primal will continue to rise up because these people who have been shouting Bitcoin for a while are going to be more and more important as more and more wealth accrues to them. So I think their influence will go up, and this will also help platforms. But
Totally agree. Yeah, they're more and more influential. I was actually saying that to my girlfriend yesterday. I was like, all this is a very big deal because the people that were attracted to this over time are going to become increasingly more influential. And that also means that the people who are doing the things that we don't like in the other system can actually have more sway to pull people over to this system. So it gives people a lot more leverage, which is a very, very big deal and an important thing. But I'm seeing a
mhm.
ton of messages in here that I think we should address and talk about where people are very fixated on, I'll use this one. There's a few of them just like this. So Bitcoin will never be used as a currency and only used as to trade for the most dominant currency, question mark. So like the whole debate or question over like, can Bitcoin ever be money? Is it always just purely a store of value? How do you see Bitcoin, Paul, as someone who lives off of it?
Yeah, so like I can't sleep unless I am 100% in Bitcoin. Call me
Okay.
retarded, that's fine. It is probably pretty retarded. It's probably pretty unreasonable to fully live off Bitcoin sometimes. But I hate trading. I've tried trading. I'm a class of 2017er. I got some ups and some downs and some rugs and some ICOs. And I absolutely hate trading. And it's a peaceful life, man, for anybody too. That's the whole thesis about Bitcoin is you could just save in Bitcoin and have a peaceful life.
Mm-hmm. You don't have
And
to think.
your labor be preserved over time in the world's hardest asset. How we get there and what kind of tools and what kind of upgrades to protocol and everything will be, what kind of wallets and everything. But yeah, man, it's just more convenient for me now that I am only Bitcoin for me to spend it. Like I don't want to have to go back and convert to fiat and have like some fiat here and fiat there. Like No, I just have Bitcoin and it's ready to go and spend for my freaking bananas or coconuts at any time. It's just more simple that way. And it feels good, man. You're using magic internet money. It never loses its fire when it just like you have to scan the little QR, ding, and hopefully we'll get UX as good as Apple Pay soon.
Mm. Yeah,
Actually got
totally.
sale machines and I have a card loaded with Bitcoin and you can just spend it over Lightning. I'm like, yo, I'm living in 2140 already over here in the jungle. You know,
That's awesome.
it's pretty
Keith,
cool.
Keith, what do you got for him? Oh, that looks
Well,
badass.
um, so Ben, you actually sent me something the other day. I just started checking it out this morning, and it was this post from a guy named Dougie, and he talks about how crypto is dead. And the thing that I thought was super interesting about this piece and kind of stuff that we've continued to touch on a little bit today is how, like, one of the things that he's talking about in this piece is that he's not saying that crypto is dead. What he's saying is that, like, crypto as this thing that's separate from the concept of just technology
Mm-hmm.
is potentially dying. And he talks about how, like, the crypto UX and UI, it works for people in crypto. You talked a little bit about that, Paul, to where it's like right now, like, people in crypto, we don't mind, right? A UX that's not like perfect, and how that can be used to Uniswap back in the day. Like, it looks better now, but it was just like, to someone who was not crypto native, they're like, what is this? I'm like, I'm going crazy. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted to point out this article because I thought this was a really, really good read for anyone who's interested in crypto and how it's evolving, and how um, basically, like, crypto and technology are going to become like one thing. And like crypto itself, it already is a kind of a bad word, but it'll really just be only a bad word potentially in the terms of like, what is this technology doing for us? And whatever that technology is doing for us becomes more important than what is the technology behind it. No one talks about like uh, APIs, right? When
Yeah.
they're talking about how Twitter works or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell fiat works. I don't know how fiat works.
Right.
I've tried to study it, man. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that at length on
Yeah.
this show, where it's definitely a big thing too. We're getting some awesome comments here in the chat. So like, which one should I pick? There's a few. So it's not a store of value. You still trade it in dollars. That's not going away ever. I don't know if I completely agree with that, but yeah, we'll see. The speculation is dead. It's almost over. Clear rules around the corner.
That's true.
Yeah, it's we'll see how everything folds out. And then also from Bobby here, this is for Paul specifically. Where do you find folks who accept crypto payments to purchase daily goods?
Yeah, Bitcoin jungle, man. It's just everybody accepts Bitcoin. It's normal here. It is completely normal.
And that's in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just look it up. You'll figure it out. We got a
And
movie coming out about it soon too. So
I also heard about this app when I was in Thailand where apparently it's like I feel like it was like a nomad thing, but like you could basically, like, it's like an app where anyone who will accept Bitcoin for like rent or something like that, they would have their listing on this app. Unfortunately, I don't know the name of the app.
AirBTC.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I got a buddy who's building that, but
If you're enjoying this, then you would definitely love the full conversation. You can check that out at the link in the description down below. But for now, let's get back to the clip. I think that could be what it
about
was.
just Bitcoin. Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely a market opportunity there.
I mean, I even pay my flights and hotels and whatever in Bitcoin too. Like there's a site called Travela and I just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
use that because I just don't like having fiat.
Yeah, totally. That's also, this perfectly relates to the latest question from XRP Timster, where he says, "Why spend an appreciating asset?"
Because I'm part retarded XRP guy. I mean, less retarded than you, but like, I don't like being out. I like being on zero 100% of the time.
Yes.
The
So it's a philosophical decision. Is it an economic based one? Clearly not. Obviously, if you are spending an asset that
Yes and no.
appreciates. Yes and no.
Right.
Okay, explain it.
Well, it's all free at this point, anyways.
What do you mean?
A majority of my cost basis, whatever, was at $4,000. So, like,
Wow.
do I gotta like worry about the day-to-day volatility? even though my paycheck, I get paid like X amount in fiat, but it's like the Bitcoin amount changes all the time. So
Okay.
like sometimes I'm poorer based on that paycheck than, but like I don't care because I'm 100% in at all times. I know
So
it's like wild, but I know I like the reason I share about it on social media is because like it's kind of retarded to share about it on social media, but I feel like people need to see it. Like I think this is where we're going.
yeah, I agree. So, to a degree, the appreciation of what you had allows you to live like this. I think what shocks people
Yeah.
so much is that if they were trying to do that today with the income they have today, they don't really have a chance, right? So, to those people, how would someone get started in operating a life like this? Because if you
Mhm.
don't have the fortunate timing of buying at $4,000, that becomes a far higher barrier to entry.
Yeah, that's extremely true. And I don't advocate for people to live like me.
Okay.
I do advocate for Bitcoin, of course. And it's just like this thing, you start saving it over time. I went 0 to like 100 just because it was like I just got done with grad school and it was like,
Mhm.
all right, grandma gave me a little bit of money and I'm just going to send it and see what happens. And it was like, okay, now I'm like 100% Bitcoin already. Now I got to go down this rabbit hole when you go from 20K back to 3K.
Okay.
Like what's going on around
Yeah,
here,
it's a journey now.
Yeah, so then you gotta, like, develop your conviction and all that. But, like, in a few years, people that bought at 80K are gonna be in the same boat, I think. Yeah,
How
I don't know the time frame. I don't even wanna
Of
guess at that.
course.
But,
It's an
like,
impossible game to play. We've talked about that too. But
I
how do
wouldn't spend until, like, you're
you were
either
there.
you're up quite big, but I would spend and replace if you wanna start supporting these things because I
Got it.
think every interaction that you make with Bitcoin, every time we touch it, even if you're in the States, if you touch it with the Square merchants that accept Bitcoin now, like, this is putting your energy towards these systems that if you're even into XRP, you should be into, like, seeing this system thrive too, you know what I mean?
How did you find Bitcoin so early?
Actually, it was a gift. I got sick right after I got done with grad school, and I was like, how the hell am I going to make money? Because I was on mom's couch. And I remember this guy in one of the last days of school was like, dude, look at this flash crash and this thing called Ethereum. And I made all this money because it came right back. It was like when the exchanges would just flash crash all of a sudden. Um, so I just started looking into it and then got, sold down the rabbit hole and bought into the $1 million per Bitcoin meme. And um, yeah, it's something that's it's taken me in a lot of different places and um, just developed the conviction.
So, obviously, when people talk about living on somewhere like, say, Bitcoin Island or whatever you called it, like, the of course, when you're drinking the Kool-Aid, it's like, "Oh, this is, like, the perfect space. This is utopia." But for contrasting between an experience that people watching this can relate to, like, mostly in North America, like, how is life fundamentally different operating like this in terms of how people are? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, what do you notice is the biggest differences in day-to-day interactions?
So, like here, like I said earlier, it's just another option for money. We already have, they're already used to saving their dollars in US currency. And then, okay, well, now there's this Bitcoin thing to possibly save in. I'll give that a try. But there is a bit of a network effect. Like when your neighbor's accepting it and he sees people transacting in it, then I might as well accept it. They can accept it here with like zero risk. The key is they can sell the Bitcoin right away and for better fees than like you would if they just came and scanned a credit card. So like there's zero risk of accepting here. But most people end up just kind of saving it. I don't know stats or anything. But yeah, in the States, it's like we are so financially privileged, it's insane. We have
Yes.
all these different ways, all these access to all these different markets. We're so financially privileged. Like whereas here, there's not just the New York Stock Exchange that you have easy access to when you turn 18 or whatever. It's like, so Bitcoin offers this other narrative of being able to store wealth over time. And the guy I buy eggs from freaking bought a car. It's amazing.
You cooking on something?
Yeah, I mean, just double tapping on that concept of like the financial privilege that we have in the US, I've realized a lot more as I continue to travel, even just on the financial markets side, right?
Mm.
Like, obviously, the baseline economics of like being able to get a good job, right? And economically ascend that way. But even like the concept of investing
All of it, dude.
might not even really exist in a lot of different cultures because there's no like stock market that's just always going up, right?
Yeah.
So you might not even think of that as an option But when you have this whole Bitcoin thing as something that has existed since maybe you've been younger, whatever, we get to the where there's generations of people that grow up with like just Bitcoin just being the option of how to invest, and that being an option once again in places where there was not an option before.
Hmm.
Like you just save money. Like that's just all you do, and you try to find ways to maybe get your hands on US dollars. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought about that idea of just like, well, just as a savings vehicle, um, that's not a stock market that I don't have access to or that's not performing.
That's it. Like, you shouldn't have to have a PhD to save money, and that's the curse of fiat, and that's why Bitcoin exists, and that's the why I think it will make for a better world reserve currency for the whole entire planet Earth.
Yeah, we'll see how that comes to fruition. We got Jay Huron is really
Yeah,
animated in the chat. So BTC costs too much to move. Be real, guys. I'm sorry. Who wants to spend more than $1 to move their money?
this
Well, a lot
guy's
of
never tried lightning.
what
He's
can you
retarded.
can you can you explain?
No. I mean, sorry, you got it. It goes. It's like um, there's this thing called the Lightning Network. It's off chain, so there's different trust, trade offs for that. You can be sovereign, or you can use the easy route, like custodial Lightning, like we have in Primal, where you just go like this, buzz, no fees. You don't go zero to self custody. Like normies don't go zero to self custody. That's an impossible ask.
Oh, for sure.
Uh,
There's too many things to consider and too many things that can go wrong.
exactly. So custodial Lightning is a good way to get started. And then, we've got offices here where people can come learn about Bitcoin and learn how to take self custody. It's amazing. And the way this whole thing scales is a combination of maybe eCash, which is based on Bitcoin and moves over Lightning. And there's like going to be these trusted nodes, humans, who run as the bankers for like your community. Like that's how banks kind of work. Like everybody has different roles in societies. There's going to be a couple banker friends who maybe hold the Bitcoin for you and you can use it privately and they're custodying it for you. Or if you're going to be the sovereign guy, you take control of that for you and your family. Like
So doesn't that create the same kind of opportunities for the problems that we have with today's banking system if it's going to operate the same
that's
sort
a
of
good
way?
question. I've thought of that as well. The fact that you can still always just go back and run your own everything and hold your own keys, the ability to exit is always going to be important, right? So yeah, we'll see. At
I
least
think
it's on something too, and there's like absolute scarcity.
yeah.
Right now, it's just based on nothing but guys in suits pressing buttons.
That's also what I think people get really stuck on is
Mhm,
they can't see it operating any other way than that.
mhm.
Right? So every time they're even thinking and trying to zoom out to the future and extrapolate like where we are now to where we will be, they're always fighting the same sort of conditioning and view on systems that could theoretically change. And so for a lot of these hypothetical scenarios, are we even saying that they're statistically likely? Like I'm not saying that, but I'm saying fundamentally things can change. And if that does change, then all of these things, even the variables we're discussing, are they even relevant? Right? Like a lot of these things are really tied to systems being the way that they are.
Mhm. Yeah, and you always just like I got like 20 plus Lightning. I got so many Bitcoin wallets on my phone. It's pretty stupid. Like it's just a matter of playing with it. Like we all got to play with it and touch it if we want it to come to be. We can't just sit on the sidelines and watch people talk about it and
Yet
not do anything about it.
Charles Hoskinson always talks about like where he gets mad about crypto people is that how the crypto people are supposed to be anti the system, but they're so concerned about the value of their assets tied to the system. Right? Like they're like, if you're only worried about what your crypto costs in US dollars, you're kind of defeating the purpose and missing the point. And I
Yeah,
think that's a lot of what Paul is saying here. And I totally get everyone watching this, like Jay here, and I understand your frustration because of where you are in your life and where you want to go. I totally get that. I completely understand and I sympathize with that. But
yeah.
you also have to think a little bit and then broaden your mind in terms of what is making your view and your emotional reaction to this. Like, what are the things influencing that? I don't think enough people have really sat with that and asked the 7 layers of why in terms of, okay, if that's where you instantly go, what were the systems and things that pushed to you or were said to you that made you have that belief system set there? And can those things change or can they fall? And if those do, then what's the current situation? What are the steps that you say are stepping out for someone who's in a very normal situation right now, right? Where they're in a job, they live in America, they kind of know what Bitcoin is, they don't really fully understand it all. How does someone leave the system?
Taking self custody, I think it does something to your brain. I mean, Yeah, because it's just this thing where nobody can take it from you, and you can generate your keys offline. Like that's real power that we haven't had, I guess, ever. Um, and it feels good. Like, yeah, I'm not like some whale or anything. Like, I kind of just left Costa Rica, or left my home without much, and just kind of had a truck full of stuff. And I ended up driving down here. With kind of this idea that Bitcoin will go up very high in the future, and it just and the ability, and like knowing that my money was safe in this thing, kind of gave me this confidence to just go out and seek more sovereign lifestyle, um, and just like the lifestyle I wanted to live. Like, I don't think you need to necessarily go anywhere to find that freedom. Like, I mean, it's kind of a thing. Like, you're only going to be, if you're always chasing freedom, you're going to be you're trapped still,
Mm.
right? Like, I would still just always be where your friends are, and I don't know.
So what is freedom
Kind
to
of
you
a
then?
It's kinda just doing what you wanna be doing. Like, even if you had the $1,000,000,000, you're still gonna be bored and have same problems, and there's some similar problems, whatever. Like, what would you actually do with every minute of your day if you were a billionaire? And doing that experiment kinda led me to where I am now.
Got it.
And I was, like, pretty broke living on the beach and stuff too, like, when I got down here,
Mhm.
but ended up connecting with some, like, valued people, which helped a lot. But, yeah, that's freedom, is just, doing really thinking what you would wanna be doing if, you
If everything
made
went your way.
great.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
totally.
billionaire, and to me, my simple answer was surfing in the water, with warm water, with friends every morning, and doing something important.
That's beautiful, man.
You're still gonna wanna work, and having a family,
Yeah,
so
I want the weather piece so bad. I'm stuck in the cold here and I'm working every day to try to get out of it, man. It's like a soul-sucking trap when the winter hits here. It's disgusting. So I definitely am very envious of you, and we also had a comment here saying, "Paul's lifestyle seems to be what dreams are made of." So congratulations on doing
thanks,
that.
so
Yeah, Joe's a legend.
Hey, you made it to the end of the clip. That means you're probably enjoying this. And if so, just know that you can catch us live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to see the full version of this episode, you can click the link in the description down below. Otherwise, YouTube thinks that you will enjoy this next.